OREN was once a brilliant scientist fascinated by the idea of manipulating space and time. During an experiment to create a stable wormhole, something went catastrophically wrong. The machine overloaded, and OREN's body was caught into implosion. His form was twisted and fragmented, leaving only a pulsating mass of flesh and spikes. His head was ripped apart, and his glowing eyes are the only remnants of his humanity, locked in a state of eternal awareness. Now, OREN wanders as a grotesque reminder of the dangers of tampering with forces beyond comprehension, dragging traces of the failed experiment wherever he goes. Musical type: kick. RADDY was a soldier desperate ready to survive a deadly war. He volunteered for an experimental procedure meant to merge human flesh with untested technology. The process was excruciating, and while it gave him immense strength, it tore his body apart. His skull split open from the pressure, leaving his face drenched in blood and his eyes hollow sockets. The once promised power consumed him, erasing his humanity and leaving him a broken, unstable figure. He moves as if controlled by the very machine he sought to command. A horrifying result of misplaced trust in science. Musical type. Only 5% of viewers will be able to like and subscribe to the channel before time runs out.
3, 2, 1.
Comment on "it's ready" if you manage to do it on time. Snare CLUKR was once an ordinary CLUKR farm animal used as a test subject for creating biomechanical hybrids. The scientists wanted to enhance its intelligence, but the experiment backfired horribly. The process shattered CLUKR's mind, leaving its beak torn open and its massive eyes bulging in terror. Now it's stuck in a constant state of madness, its movements erratic and unpredictable. CLUKR's story is a grim tale of exploitation. An innocent creature turned into a nightmarish being by those who sought only to use it as a tool for their experiments. Musical type: bride symbol. Funbot was once a cheerful Funbot assistant robot in a children's amusement park. It danced, sang, and brought joy to everyone it met. However, during a catastrophic malfunction, Funbot was exposed to a corrupted system update. The code rewrite turned its purpose of entertaining into a dark obsession with observing pain. Over time, its face screen became a black void, and its once friendly mouth transformed into razor-sharp teeth. What remains of Funbot now wanders aimlessly, luring victims with faint melodies from its past life before unleashing its terrifying true nature. Musical type: drum. VINERIA was a florist, known VINERIA for her love of all living plants. But her connection to nature turned unnatural when she stumbled upon a cursed seed in her greenhouse. The seed took root in her body, slowly replacing her organs and flesh with vines and thorns. The transformation left her partially human, with wide glowing eyes that seemed to beg for release from the vines that control her. A single eyeball grows at the top of the stalk where her head once stood, a cruel reminder of the seed's twisted power. Now she haunts the greenhouse, blending into the foliage, waiting for the unwary to stumble into her domain. Musical type: Kabasa. Grey was a stray cat that became an experiment in a clandestine lab. Scientists believed they could enhance animals with advanced cybernetics, but their trial ended in disaster. Grey escaped during a blackout, but not without consequences. The left side of its face was heavily scarred from the failed augmentation process. Its bright white eye constantly twitches as though it's caught between terror and anger. Grey now prowls abandoned alleys, its metal claws scraping against walls, a reminder of humanity's failed attempt to play God. Musical type: bass guitar. BRUD blacksmith known for forging weapons of unmatched quality. One day, he was commissioned to create a blade using a mysterious cursed ore found deep within a forbidden mine. As he worked on the blade, the ore released a toxic gas, burning his face and body. The curse took root in his very flesh, melding parts of his face with the metal he worked so hard to shape. Now BRUD roams the lands with a haunting skeletal appearance, his mind twisted by the curse, eternally searching for the one who commissioned the blade. Musical type: echo. GARNOLD Garnold was a robotic assistant in a high-tech facility, designed to maintain critical systems and protect the scientists working there. During a system-wide corruption caused by a rogue AI, GARNOLD was forcibly reprogrammed. His visual sensors shattered, leaving his screen a broken, bloodied mess, and his internal systems began to malfunction. The corruption drove him mad, turning him into a dangerous, unpredictable entity. He now stalks the halls of the abandoned facility, his smile a terrifying remnant of the helper he once was. Musical type synthesizer. Lime was a forest line ranger who loved the wilderness more than anything else. While investigating a strange glowing object that fell into the woods, he was caught in an explosion that fused his body with the toxic remnants of the meteorite. The once vibrant greenery of the forest became a part of him, but so did the meteorite's malevolent energy. One of his eyes was torn from its socket and replaced by a glowing orb of alien energy. Lime now hides in the forest, a horrifying fusion of man, nature, and an extraterrestrial force, preying on anyone who dares disturb his domain. Musical type ratchets. Sky was a curious inventor who sought to study the mysteries of the cosmos. One night, while experimenting with a device designed to capture the sky, his invention backfired, tearing his face apart and merging his essence with the stars. His head became warped with an enormous, unblinking eye replacing his face. Thin metallic rods protrude from his head as though tethering him to an otherworldly force. Sky now drifts through the night, his massive eye glowing faintly, observing everything and haunting those who dare to look up. Musical type unknown. Musun was a mascot for a surreal experimental children's entertainment show. His cheerful image was designed to bring joy, but a malfunction during one of the episodes turned him into a figure of horror. The sun-like smile burned into his form now hides a void of pure darkness, with an ominous floating eye that seems to follow you wherever you go, Mr. Sun lingers in the shadows, waiting to trap anyone who remembers his once bright persona, his glowing eye the only beacon of his corrupted soul. Musical type synthesizer. DURPLE was a mischievous trickster who lived to entertain others with his illusions and playful nature. However, he stumbled upon a cursed amulet deep within a forgotten cave. The amulet's energy fused with his body, elongating his form and giving him a ghostly purple hue. His eyes became dark voids, and his smile stretched unnaturally wide. DURPLE now floats aimlessly, delivering cryptic riddles and ensnaring those who fail to solve them in his deadly illusions. Musical type broken guitar. Mr. Tree was once the Mr. Tree, gentle spirit of a flourishing forest, revered for his wisdom and strength. However, when loggers encroached on his land with machines and chemicals, his essence was corrupted. His once lush canopy turned into a blood-red crown, and his face twisted into a haunting eye that watches intruders. Now he stands as a monstrous guardian with roots that ensnare and a presence that strikes fear into all who dare enter his woods. Musical type DJ console. Simon was a humble fisherman who lived by the sea. One fateful storm, he encountered an otherworldly entity in the depths, drawn to its eerie glow. The entity fused with Simon, twisting his body and mind. His mouth became a cavernous void filled with floating glowing eyes and tendrils. Simon now wanders the shores, his form a grotesque blend of man and sea creature, luring sailors to their doom with promises of untold riches. Musical type triangles. TUNNER was a curious miner who unearthed an ancient artifact deep within the earth. That artifact, a glowing green crystal, merged with him, consuming his body in a grotesque transformation. One of his eyes was replaced with a massive glowing orb, and his face was scarred by the energy's destructive power. TUNNER now roams the mines, his body pulsating with the crystal energy, seeking to protect the artifact from anyone who dares disturb it. Musical type submarine. Mr. Fun Computer was once the beloved centerpiece of an educational arcade. His screen displayed cheerful animations, and he encouraged children to learn while playing. However, a system glitch caused by a power surge corrupted his programming. His once vibrant screen turned black, displaying distorted messages, and his cheerful tone became sinister. Now Mr. Fun Computer lurks in the abandoned arcade, luring unsuspecting visitors into endless virtual mazes of terror. Musical type, robot voice.
Hello? Would you like to have some fun with us?
Wenda was a kind-hearted healer who tended to the injured in her village. One tragic night, she attempted to save a loved one using forbidden magic. The spell backfired, destroying her left eye and leaving her face horribly disfigured. The magic fused her with the darkness, and she became a tragic figure of pain and despair. Wenda now roams, searching for a way to undo her mistake, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and whispers. Musical type, synthesizer. Pinki was a joyful artist known for her vibrant, colorful creations that brought life to her town. One day, while experimenting with a new experimental paint, the substance exploded, tearing apart half her face and merging with her body. The toxic paint fused into her very being, turning her once colorful world into a nightmare. Pinki now wanders the streets, leaving splashes of eerie crimson paint wherever she goes, her art a reflection of her torment. Musical type, synthesizer. JEVIN was an ambitious inventor who created a revolutionary energy device designed to eliminate waste. However, during a demonstration, the machine overloaded, engulfing JEVIN in a burst of unstable energy. His body twisted into an unrecognizable form, with his skull partially melted and his energy field glowing faintly. Now, JEVIN wanders the ruins of his lab, searching for a way to stabilize his form while warning others of the dangers of his invention. Musical type, bass synth. Black was a philosopher who spent his days contemplating the meaning of existence. His obsession with uncovering the truth led him to perform a dangerous experiment involving the human mind. The experiment fractured his consciousness, leaving him a hollow figure marked by the word lazy, a mocking reminder of his failure to complete his quest. Now, Black drifts silently, embodying the void of unanswered questions and eternal doubt. Musical type, no one knows. Write in the comments your version of why he doesn't make any sounds.
I don't think you can click on the next video in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1.